If atmospheric thunder had an exhaust system, would it sound like the Flowmaster original 40 series mufflers? Hey guys, and welcome back to the shop. Today we're rolling into another Flowmaster face-off with the classic original 40 series versus the new Super 40s. We're putting them head to head to see if the new Super 40s can deliver that signature Flowmaster roar while keeping the in-cabin punishment to a minimum. The original 40s are legends, raw, loud, and guaranteed to turn heads. But let's be honest, they don't just let you hear the exhaust, they make you feel it in your bones. If you've ever wanted your car to sound like it runs on moonshine and bad decisions inside, these might be your mufflers. On the other hand, Flowmaster says the Super 40s keep that deep, aggressive tone while using Delta Flow technology to cut down interior resonance. Is this the real deal, or just another case of sounds good on paper? To find out, I'm running both sets through my hi-fi stereo setup so that you can experience every growl, bark, and brain-rattling drone in full high fidelity. So turn up the volume and throw this on a proper sound system. All right, let's crank up the original 40s and see if they still deliver that raw, no-nonsense growl we all love. Just because I love you guys so much, I went back and reinstalled the original 40s just so you guys can hear them in hi-fi stereo. Stay tuned. There's the crank. At 2 yards. At 4 yards. And at 8 yards away. Yard rev. Two-yard rev. At 67 miles an hour. At 70 miles an hour. At 55 miles an hour. But not least, man, those original 40s don't mess around. Outside the car, they're a symphony of muscle car sound, but inside, it's like trying to take a nap in a jet engine. If you've ever wondered what it's like to have your brain scrambled like a truck stop omelet, these mufflers will get you there. Stick around. Up next, I've got side-by-side comparisons and a hi-fi stereo recording of the Super 40s so that you can hear exactly what makes them different. While you're here, drop a comment. What's the next muffler showdown you want to see? All right, let's rip these 40s off and swap in the Super 40s. Hey guys, a surprising discovery right out of the box. These Super 40 series mufflers are a full inch thicker and 3/4 of an inch wider than the 50 series Delta, which are sitting here on the bench. I hope they'll fit the car. I mean, I just went on there and ordered ones that said they would fit my car, and I didn't really pay any attention to the actual dimensions of the muffler. So that is a very interesting discovery, and we'll see what kind of difference that makes, if any. Definitely a much bigger muffler, so hopefully it will make a difference on that interior resonance. That's what we're looking for. Here's another shot of the muffler side by side. You can see clearly how much taller the Super 40 is than the original 40. And a tiny bit wider. They also appear to be about a ½ inch longer. Guys, here's the transparent view of our two mufflers, original 40s, Super 40s. You can see the Super 40s, we've added two smaller baffles right here, and we've reduced the length of the top baffle as compared to the original 40s here. And as stated earlier, the case size is a little larger on the Super 40s versus the original 40s. Is that going to make a difference? Well, I do not know, but we are going to find out. So let's put these Super 40s to the test and see what they're made of. Let's see if Flowmaster's claim of reduced interior drone is right or wrong. All right, Super 44s. No, excuse me, scratch that. What kind of mufflers are they? I've got so many now, I don't know what's what. Super 40s. Super 40s, take one. At 55 miles an hour. At 67 miles an hour. And at 70 miles an hour. And here's our idle. We'll do a full acceleration test inside the car. Nothing like the smell of fresh mufflers burning off. Miles an hour, 100 decibels. All right, guys, Super 40s on the car. We're going to hear them in hi-fi stereo at 2, 4, and 8 yards. Let's go. There's the crank. At 2 yards. At 4 yards. And at 8 yards. Okay, let's do the 8-yard rev. There's our 8-yard rev. And here's our idle. All right, guys, so the results are in, the Super 40s. Let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. So let's go through the results here. The interior noise levels at 55, 67, and 70 miles an hour. We're looking at pretty close to the same results as we saw with the original 40s. Original 40s, we're looking at 90 at 55, 97 at 67, 96 at 70. With the Super 40s, it's 86, 95, and 95. That is not much of a difference, guys. So I've done some research on these decibel meters, and about the best decibel meter you can get, and these are the decibel meters they use to calibrate all the others with, are going to vary at about plus or minus 1.4 decibels. Now, to afford one that is plus or minus 1.4 decibels, you're looking at nearly $1,000. So these are the ones they use to calibrate all the cheaper ones, which is the one I have, $50 range. Now this one is plus or minus 1.8 decibels, so just under 2 decibel variance. What we can take from that is if we see 1 to 2 decibels difference in any of these numbers, we're just going to call it pretty well negligible. Now exteriorly, if that's a word, it is now. We're nearly 10 decibels quieter across the board in every single test. Now those numbers were on the screen in the previous test, so you can see exactly what they were. But that's highly disappointing, guys. These Super 40s, these are my least favorite mufflers I've tested so far in the 40 series range. I do have one left, and that's the 40 series Delta. That's going to be the next test, and that'll complete the 40 series mufflers from Flowmaster. So yeah, the Super 40 series from Flowmaster, not my favorite. These will be for sale on my website if you guys want to grab them at a discounted rate. They've only got about an hour and a half, 2 hours runtime on them. So they're basically brand new. Even though the interior noise level is pretty well the same between the original 40s and these Super 40s, I don't know, the tone is different, and it may not affect you guys, and it may be different on every car, but on this car, that droning sound is even worse with the Super 40s than it is the original 40s. As we stand so far, at all the 40 series I've tested, none of them are better than the originals, guys. So if you have the originals and you're looking to upgrade, so far, don't look at the 40 series as your replacement. Now, I do have the 40 series Delta flows to do next. Once I get that result out to you guys, you'll have a better idea of what to do. So that'll wrap up this video, guys. Look forward to seeing you next time with the original 40s versus the 40 series Delta flow. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.